Thank you, Eva. I'm Millie. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a short, older person. I have gray hair. I wear glasses. And I am wearing a green shirt and gray jacket and slacks. I'd like to welcome you to the service this morning. Whether you are with us on site or on Zoom, and whether it is your first time here or one of many times, and we are glad you are here with us today. We hope that you can stay for coffee or tea and conversation after the service. We especially want to welcome our guest speaker today, Jake Gaugier. I hope I said that correctly. Okay. He plans to be available after the service to answer your questions. Our chalice lighter this morning is Yomi. Our chalice lighting words today are Who We Are Called to Be by Pat Uribe Lichty. Our chalice is a reminder that in hard times, our ancestors in faith acted with courage to bring hope and safety, to bring life itself to threatened people. We light it today as a reminder of who we are called to be in a world still dangerous and despairing. With courage and faith, we bring ourselves to the work before us.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy.
Our opening words are by John M. Higgins. Welcome to this place. This is a home where no revealed truths are promoted and no scripture or human being accepted as infallible. This is a place for searching for truth. But we are believers. We believe in intellectual freedom. We believe in justice. We believe in compassion and concern for each other and the whole world. We believe in commitment to those ideals which make us caring and active in the struggles for human dignity. We are Unitarian Universalists. Our hymn for the month of August is Once to Every Soul in Nation, number 119 in the gray hymnal. Sit or stand as you please while we do this song.
Once to every soul and nation comes the moment to decide in the strife of truth with falsehood, for the good or evil side. Then to stand with truth is noble when we share its wretched crust. Ere that cause bring fame and profit, and 'tis prosperous to be just. Though the cause of evil prosper, yet 'tis truth alone is strong. Though its portion be the scaffold, and upon the throne be wrong, then it is the brave one chooses, while the coward stands aside, till the multitude make virtue of the faith they have denied.
Good morning. My name is Era. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman in her 50s, and I am shockingly wearing all black today. Today, I'd like to share a story called Amelia and Her Super Magical Powers by Gail Sfar. Amelia was a young girl who was fascinated by tales of people with superpowers like Wonder Woman or magic like Harry Potter. She yearned to have powers like that so she could help people. Like the boy she often saw sitting all alone at lunch, looking very sad. If I had magic powers, I could make him smile, she said to herself. Or like the little kids who were being picked on in the school by an older girl. Ooh, superpowers would straighten that out fast, she said. And whenever she walked past the old, rundown park near her house, she imagined how magic powers could fix it up so kids had a place to play. One night, just as Amelia was about to fall asleep, a fairy godmother came into her room. Hello, Amelia, she said. I'm here to help you. What have you been wishing for? Oh, said Amelia, please give me some super magic powers so that I can make a difference. Well, said the fairy godmother, I'm happy to give you some magic, Amelia, but Oh, thank you, cried Amelia. And with that, she fell right to sleep. The next morning, when Amelia woke up, she remembered what had happened the night before. She jumped out of bed, eager to get going and test out her new superpowers. As she walked to school, she realized she'd forgotten to ask what she needed to do to release these powers. You know, say some secret words, give a high sign, or something else. But she decided she'd figure it all out as she went along. That day at lunch, she saw that same sad boy sitting by himself again. Let's try my magic, she said, as she wiggled her fingers at him from a distance. Nothing. Maybe I need to be closer, she thought. So she walked closer to him and he looked up at her. She couldn't help but give him a friendly smile. And when she did, his face beamed with his own huge smile. Ha, thought Amelia, I really do have magic. Can I join you for lunch? She asked. Sure, he said, smiling even bigger. The two of them laughed and talked all during lunchtime. She learned his name was Bobby. He'd lost his father earlier in the year, and he and his mother had moved here after that. He didn't know anyone and was too shy to go up to kids and talk. Well, Amelia and Bobby became good friends, and Bobby smiled a lot from then on. One day, soon after that, Amelia and Bobby were in the playground when they saw Karen bullying two younger kids by the swings. She'd read what to do about bullies, but she had never tried any of it before because she wasn't really sure she could do it. But now, with her superpowers, she was ready. Come on, Bobby, let's go help those kids. So they walked up to where Karen stood over the two children, and Amelia wiggled her fingers at her and said loudly, Karen, stop it right now. Come on, Dodie and Lou, come with Bobby and me. You're safe with us. After the four of them had left, Amelia told the two, if she bothers you again, just turn around and walk away. Act like you don't hear her. Don't show any emotion. And if she keeps on trying to hurt you, let Mr. Crenshaw in the office know. I'll go with you if you need me to. They did just as Amelia advised, and Karen never bothered those kids again. Well, by now, Amelia was feeling pretty good about her super magic powers. How can I use them to fix up our old park? She wondered. Wiggling her fingers didn't work. She still didn't know any magic words. Maybe if I start working to clean it, something will occur to me. And so she did. She took trash bags to the park and started picking up trash that had been left there. Before long, a couple friends came by and asked what she was doing. I'm fixing our park so we can play in it again. That sounded like a great idea to her friends, and they began to help. Soon, other kids joined them. They picked up trash, pulled weeds, and cleared out dead brush. Little by little, the park began to look better. When some of the parents saw the improvement, they decided to help. Some mowed the grass, others built picnic tables, and still others convinced the city to buy some new equipment. It was hard work and it took many days, but they got their new park. When it was all done, the whole neighborhood had a picnic in their new park to celebrate it. After the picnic, Amelia fell exhausted into bed. She was just about asleep when the fairy godmother came back. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, said Amelia. I want to thank you for giving me all those super magic powers. But I tried to tell you my wand was broken. I didn't give you any, said the fairy godmother. You must have given me powers, protested Amelia. How else could I have made Bobby happy, stopped a bully, and given our neighborhood a wonderful park? The fairy godmother just smiled. My dear, you did that because you possess three powers that you developed yourself: kindness, bravery, and determination. With those three things, you are making a difference. And with that, Amelia fell fast asleep.
Now that I got that important task out of the way. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Dunn. I'm a member of the Pastoral Care Circle. And I am, let's see, in the last year of my 50s, tall with curly platinum hair. And I go by she, her pronouns, and I'm wearing a long brown multicolored dress. As a community, we share joys and concerns to keep connected. Slips of paper are available at the greeters table for those in the sanctuary to use for joys and concerns. During the week, you may send your joys and concerns by email to pastoralcare@springfielduu.org or by leaving a voicemail on the church phone, 417-883-3922. If you're on Zoom, please use the chat box now for sharing your joys and concerns. All of these joys and concerns will be included in the members' email on Tuesday. We honor each joy or concern with a lighted candle, a symbol of the love we as a community offer for each of these joys and concerns. And this morning, Yomi will be lighting the candles. And now, as we begin this time of sharing, know that though we are in multiple physical spaces, we are together in beloved community. To begin, we hold in love all of us, those present and those absent. We light a candle for our church community. Becca Gray shares that her Great Pyrenees bow has been a tremendous influence on a 10-year-old boy this summer during the reading program. Today, we will meet at the library to continue building his reading confidence. And Becca Gray also shares a concern. Oops, we light a candle for the Great Pyrenees. I know I was missing something there. Thank you. You got my back. All right. So anyway, Becca Gray is also sharing a concern. She's having her second facial surgery on Thursday for skin cancer. She's nervous about the plastic surgery and how her face will look. We light a candle of concern for Becca. Jesse shares good luck to, excuse me, good luck to all those starting back to school this week. We light a candle of perhaps joy and concern. And Mike Bramer shares that Charles Gray is back home after a couple of days in the hospital. So again, that would be a candle of both joy and concern, and hope that he is feeling better very quickly. Look online. Jane shares, we are very grateful for the good report from the cath lab at the University of Missouri in Columbia after 3 trips up there. Only one more trip for a small procedure in October. We light a candle of care and concern for Jane. And that's all I can find online. We honor the complex and heartbreaking struggles of our world, and we light a candle of care for all who are impacted. In closing, for those joys and concerns that remain unspoken, we light a candle. May we hold each of these joys and concerns in our hearts and minds. May our community of love ease sorrow and boost celebration. And now let us join together in 1 minute of shared silence, followed by Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirring compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
This week in UU history, the week of August 17th, Carolyn Julia Bartlett Crane was born in Hudson, Wisconsin on August 17th in 1858. She liked the preaching of Oscar Clute, a Unitarian minister, and decided to become a minister herself in a time when ministry was considered an exclusively male profession. She earned a BA degree and an MA degree from Carthage College and became a teacher and journalist, and then city editor of the Oshkosh, Wisconsin City Times. Crane studied theology on her own and was ordained in 1887 as a colleague of Mary Safford. She became minister in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and then Kalamazoo, Michigan. Both churches prospered under her ministry. Crane worked for numerous civic causes, including public kindergarten and urban sanitation. In 1903, she became the meat inspector for Michigan slaughterhouses. Carolyn Julia Bartlett Crane died in 1935 at the age of 77. What a diverse life. Offering our gifts to support the work of building inclusive and just communities is one of the many ways that we live into justice and equity together. Some of us have much to give and some have little. And together it is enough. We are enough to work together for a world where every human can live into their best and most authentic self. If electronic giving is your preferred method, or if you are on Zoom, virtual giving options are available via our website, springfielduu.org. The offertory music today is part of Blues Concerto by Eugenie R. Rocheral, hope I said that right, performed as a duet by our own Carter Meintz and his teacher, Cindy Dietrich. I believe it's a video. Carter left for Nebraska Wesleyan University recently, where he plans to study to become an aeronautical engineer. Our congregation has watched him grow from a beginning piano student to where he is now, a wonderful pianist. Thank you, Carter and Cindy, and thank you, Michelle and Gary. Our best wishes for your future. So beautiful. Our message today is going to be presented by Jake Gauger. It is entitled Welcoming the Stranger, Our Refugee Neighbors, and the Work of Resettlement.
Good morning. Start with our first slide. So as you heard, my name is Jake Gauger. I go by he, him pronouns, and I am actually not French. That is also a part of my immigrant story that I would like to share. I am German by heritage, Welsh, Scot, English, and Polish. But Gauger happens when Mr. Jaeger decides in the 1830s to move from New York by way of Quebec and then to end up in Wisconsin, only to pronounce his name as Gaugert for generations. But when his great-great-grandson does missionary work in French-speaking Africa, he gets tired of correcting everyone's pronunciation and lets it just stick. So you did a very good pronunciation of Gauger, as I had heard my name pronounced for 8 years when I was in West and Central Africa, working with the Lutheran Church at that time. I mention that because as we talk about welcoming the stranger and the work of immigration, we really do need to emphasize and recognize the role that community plays in helping us through our own paths, shaping us who we are, and creating context of who we decide to be in our daily lives. I am the executive director of the International Institute and have been serving in this capacity since June of this year. And I've been with the Institute for the last 2 years. And it really is my pleasure today to speak to you about welcoming the stranger, our refugee neighbors, and the work of resettlement. Because our work is to make ones who we identify as strangers as those who actually belong into our context and who are no longer strangers, but our neighbors, friends, and even in cases, our own relatives and family. Next slide. Our mission statement states, the International Institute of Southwest Missouri provides opportunities for immigrants and refugees to thrive in order to create a welcoming, prosperous, and healthy region for all. Our mission is not simply directed to our clients. It's directed to our own communities. It's directed to creating a community of justice, affirmation, and hope and opportunity, not only for newcomers, but for the well-being of those who have been here in their own immigrant stories and over generations. The way that we assist clients in our communities, I like to summarize it in saying that we accompany clients along their self-determined path to self-sufficiency. We always emphasize the difference between doing for someone and doing with someone. At the beginning of many of our clients' journeys here in the United States, there is a lot of doing for, a lot of difficult paperwork, a lot of learning new things, navigating new spaces, but gradually moving on to more of doing with. Until then, that client has made decisions, made connections, become part of a community until they are then independent, but not in the sense of independence in lack of connection, but in their own agency and power and will. Our agency here was begun in 2013 with the influx of a few waves of the Hakachin community, a Christian minority from the north of Burma, Myanmar. Afterwards, they were followed by several Congolese until we have over 20 different nationalities represented in our clients today. We are an extension of the International Institute of St. Louis that was started in 1919 under the Young Women's Organization. We are a nonprofit that operates under grants and partnerships at federal level, state level, and also local level, with a lot of local grants, partnerships, and support, especially over these last few months as we have had a lot of transition and challenges, but also opportunities in regards to immigration and refugee resettlement. We currently have a staff of 6, 3 of which are immigrants themselves from the Ukraine, different parts of Africa, but also recent graduates of our local universities who are involved in other endeavors of social justice with the Social Democrat Party and also with Springfield Tenants Unite. There's also an array of different religious and ideological backgrounds, from very conservative Christian amongst our staff to Muslim to progressive to agnostic. And that also reflects the diversity of our own clients. We have a very wide network of volunteers and community support groups, of which we are very privileged to consider you one. Next slide. Our service area covers a large area of southwestern Missouri. You'll notice the purple on the far left. In the west is Rays, which is based out of Joplin. They cover kind of that whole strip of different counties down to the Arkansas state line. But you'll notice the light green is essentially our service area here in Springfield. We do a lot of our initial resettlements here in the Springfield area, but we do also serve all the way up into Buffalo, Bolivar with the Ukrainian population, Monette with the Hakachin and also the Latino population, and even as far east as the West Plains area. And we're always looking to expand those different partnerships. So afterwards, when there's times for comments and questions, if you have different family members or connections in some of those different communities, please let me know, because we will be doing a lot of visits in those areas sometime soon. Move on to the next slide, please. The main clientele that we have are those who are identified, and it's a legal term actually, as refugees. According to US law in the 1951 UN Refugee Convention, a refugee is a migrant who is seeking entry from a third country who are able to demonstrate that they have been persecuted or have reason to fear persecution. So they've already moved from their own national country of origin to be placed in another for whatever reason, but then the determination is made that they cannot return to their country of origin, nor can they integrate into the new country. And there's then a process through the UN and the Department of State for them to go through a vetting period that can last anywhere from 2 to 5 years to be given refugee status. The United States receives, in comparison to other Western countries, more refugees than the others. And less than 1% of those who actually apply for refugee status are actually granted it. The refugee status is based on race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. So we can see that's demonstrated in the Hakachin Christian community, that's demonstrated in the Rohingya community, that's demonstrated in different political refugees that we may have from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and then also members of the LGBTQ community, who up until recently, unfortunately, were able to be brought in as refugees under the American policies. Currently, there is a crisis going on in the world with displacement. By 2024 estimations, there are 42.7 million who can be classified as refugees, 73.5 million who are internally displaced, that is, those who have had to flee their homes but are still within the borders of their country of origin, and 8.4 million who are currently seeking asylum in countries not of their country of origin. It really is something for us to be aware of on a global scale as we consider how stable we actually can be here at the current time in the United States. Next slide, please. Our institute currently has received over 1,341 new arrivals since 2013. We currently have 1,020 people enrolled for services. When someone arrives at our institute or we receive them, they can also walk in. They are eligible for services up to 5 years after the day of their arrival. So this is very intense for the first 3 months with resettlement, getting them into housing, medical screenings, initial employment, referrals to English programs. But then also we're there for capacity building and to continue to help them along those different paths and needs up to 5 years after arrival. Though, of course, the need tapers off because we are trying to work ourselves out of the job. In 2024, this was a year when we had 24 staff in our office. We served 930 individuals directly who came into our office, were enrolled into our programs, and received support in one way or another with housing or employment or the such. Next slide, please. These are the numbers of those that we have resettled since 2015. You will notice in there quite a bit of fluctuation from different years, and you'll notice that in certain election years, when there was the suspicion that there might be a political shift, we had quite a few people coming in. So last year we had settled 425 individuals. That is something we were able to do with a staff of 24. This year operationally, and this operational year started on October 1st, we were able to get in 176. When we look at the calendar year, we were able to get in 46 people before January 20th, and then the door was closed. We were actually expecting to maintain our staff of 24 or even add to it, and to resettle more than 450 people again in this year. Of course, things did change. But you see here a picture of one of our recent arrivals coming in at the Springfield Branson Airport. That's always a fun day when there are the community sponsorship groups and volunteers there, usually welcoming our clients with smiles, people who have been on this path to arrive on American soil, sometimes for anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Next slide. We have quite a bit of diversity amongst our clients coming from over 20 different countries. You'll see there the vast majority of our clients are from the Ukraine. There have been those who were resettled in the Pacific Northwest and California of the Ukrainian population who then secondarily migrated to the Missouri area. And they are then going through different processes with their family members to bring them from the Ukraine, and we also serve them as well. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is also very high on the list, as well as Afghanistan. A lot of the other diversity of the backgrounds of the clients that we serve has been a more recent development, and we're very happy to see that. We have served in a total of 1,734 people since 2013. Next slide. We have core services in that definitely sort of overlap in different aspects. When people first arrive, we help to connect them to different housing opportunities, which of course is somewhat limited in the current context. We assist them with employment, that is job applications and support in the workforce, also interpretation services. We also cultural orientation, be it in the class or also in the home, and also education, as in school registration, English literacy, and also other post-secondary opportunities. Next slide. We are highly dependent and appreciative of community partnerships. For education, connections with OTC for their English programs, Springfield Public Schools, the Ozark and Nixa public school systems, and also MSU. For health, our first referral is usually to Jordan Valley and also AIDS Project of the Ozarks. And then we have a very broad view of kind of pool of other organizations that we partner with Community Partnership of the Ozarks, Crosslines, Drew Lewis Foundation, Springfield Community Gardens, Rural Behavioral, Community Foundation of the Ozarks, the Art Museum of Springfield, AIDS Project of the Ozarks, Grupo Latinoamericano, etc. Next slide. One of the largest or most challenging challenges that many of our clients face is, of course, learning the English as necessary for their path to integration and communication in their communities. We offer programs in our agency and also those where we refer to other partnerships. We do offer English conversation classes 2 days a week at our new facilities at the Drew Lewis Foundation. We have just initiated a women's sewing workshop where they are doing encouraging women's capacity building and English instruction, as well as they're doing different crafts, which we then will be selling at the farmers markets and also in partnership with other stores and organizations in the area. We also have one-on-one tutoring with Burlington English, which is an online English learning platform. Currently, there are more than 12 programs in the SGF area with different churches, partners, and education institutions. Next slide. We are faced currently with some challenges and policy shifts. We had the suspension and reduction in refugee arrivals for 225. We were expecting 450 anticipated arrivals we're not sure. Currently, we were able to bring in 46 before January 20th. And at least in the phone calls I have with different departments in Washington, there is the possibility before the end of September for us maybe to bring anywhere from 5 to 15 new individuals in. This may be special immigration visas from Afghanistan, refugees, but also, as we know, the Afrikaner population, which is its own somewhat challenging and difficult situation. We had a reduction of our staff from 24 to 6 people. As a result of the Big Beautiful Bill, our refugee clients who normally are eligible for SNAP are now no longer eligible. This ended officially when the Big Beautiful Bill was signed on January 4th. So it has ended at the federal level, but it's administered by the state. And so we'll just find out when the water comes out of that tap here in the next few weeks or months. Medicaid eligibility also changed. Refugees are normally, were up to now eligible for Medicaid for their first year, no questions asked. The possibility of renewing it for the second year, very few questions asked, and normally it would be approved. But now it is all ending for refugees, any non-citizens and non-green card holders as of October 1st, 2026. Of course, when you consider SNAP and Medicaid for a family just trying to get back on their feet, these are extremely heavy blows. We also have seen increased fees for immigration status processing as a result of the Big Beautiful Bill, and also delays in those processing times, anywhere from 4 months to 10 months, which we will probably see continue on into the near future. And as we all know and experience, simply housing and cost of living is something that also is a challenge. We do have, the next slide. We do have many volunteer and advocacy opportunities, helping out with English with our sewing workshops, serving as an ELL class assistants and one-on-one tutoring, for youth programs, accompanying out on community outings, or being connected with a mentee from one of our youth, and also cultural enrichment studies or activities. We also have cultural orientation opportunities to help with home maintenance, the community garden, workshops on diet and cooking, community events, community celebrations, movies and books, driver's education, etc. That list could continue to go on. And then employment, assisting with job searches, interview practice, job applications, training workshops, finances and budgeting, and transportation. Next slide. Why does this matter? Because immigration is integral to who we are as a culture and a society in the United States. Out of many, one. And that has been that way from the beginning, although imperfectly exercised in many ways, as we sadly know, but is the ideal that we always push for. Next slide. It is also something that is integral to many religions and worldviews. We have the parable of the Good Samaritan from Luke chapter 10 of who is my neighbor. We have the writer to the Hebrews telling us do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers. And it is also reflected in the Quran. And if your Lord had willed, he could have made mankind one community, but they will not cease to differ. That is to say that the diversity of human cultures is something that God himself in that worldview wills. We also have the proverb, let 100 flowers bloom, comes from classical Chinese, famously used in the 100 Flowers campaign of 1956, meaning it encourages a diversity of ideas, talents, and expressions to flourish together. Next slide. One of our great events that we do here, this will be our 7th year, I believe, on October 11th, is going to be the Culture Fest on C Street. You have a QR code there. We are still open for vendors. Last year, we had 7,000 people celebrating the diversity of cultures here in the Ozark area. This year, we are expecting anywhere from 8 to 10, if the wind and the rain don't make it difficult. But we would love to see you there. Please share that information. It's a great celebration. Next slide. There are, of course, different ways to support, as your church has supported us in the past. We do have a fund with Community Foundation of the Ozarks. Even though we are an affiliate of the St. Louis office, our fund for the Community Foundation of the Ozarks is locally limited to local support here in our service area. So there are monetary gifts, in-kind donations when we are setting up housing, such as beds and furniture to help people get set up in their homes, sharing of your time and talents, but also your voice. So I know this church is one that you definitely lift up your voices when there are things to speak about regarding justice and human dignity. So I would thank you so much today. Next slide. Thank you for this time to share a little bit about our work. I will be available afterwards for any sort of questions or concerns. And I do want to let you know also with our transition, we have moved from the Cox North Tower. We are now in the Drew Lewis Foundation on North Broadway, which is a wonderful place for us to be to participate with the bike shop, with the coffee shop, with the American Indian Center, the community gardens and such. So thank you so much for your time and for your support, and look forward to continued collaboration and communication. Thank you.
The interlude is All My Trials, an American folk song performed by Eva. Our closing words are by Sam Trumbore. Go forth in simplicity. Find and walk the path that leads to compassion and wisdom, that leads to happiness, peace, and ease. Welcome the stranger and open your heart to a world in need of healing. Be courageous before the forces of hate. Hold and embody a vision of the common good that serves the needs of all people. Our final hymn today is Our World is One World, number 134 in the gray hymnal. Sit or stand as you please. We will do 2 verses.
Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make a bridge or wall.
We will now extinguish our communal and personal chalices and close with our unison sending words. Our service ending in our service to the world begins anew. Thank you all. Don't forget about the flowers. You may take a flower.